This video contains flashing lights, disturbing visuals, scary content, violent graphic images, and jump scares. Viewer discretion advised.
Video games are fertile ground for ghost stories, hauntings, and horrifying sightings.
Whereas previously you could tell yourself it's only a game, expect no such luck with these forthcoming tales, as all are grounded in their own fair share of terrifying reality, mysterious sightings, and disturbing rumours.
Whether true, fake, or unexplained, prepare to be unnerved in this following list.
You should be here.
The Hall of Tortured Souls.
From as far back as the early 90s, the development teams at Microsoft have been slipping Easter eggs into their software. Microsoft Office is notable for this. In the 97 edition, a rudimentary flight simulator, pinball game, and Magic 8 Ball were hidden in Excel, Word, and Access, respectively. There's Excel's 95, whose developers hid a creepy maze game called The Hall of Tortured Souls. The title alone would be bad enough, but they went further with the addition of low-resolution shots of the dev team plastered against garish red walls.
Berserk.
Cracked.com once listed this entry as the most evil video game character of all time. Otto, from the 1980 arcade game Berserk, might not seem like much at first glance. Indeed, he seems to look less like Satan and somewhat more like a perfectly regular dude with a big smile and cheery disposition. So, how does such an innocuous-looking fella develop a bad rap? Here's how. In 1981, a 19-year-old died of a heart attack after posting a high score in the game. The next year, just to really hit the nail on the head, Otto went ahead and did it again. Evil Otto is possibly the only video game enemy in history to kill players in real life and watch them die with a smile on his face.
Hidden message from Sonic CD.
There is something very creepy and very weird that exists in a Sonic CD game. At the title screen, if players activated the sound test option and pressed down, 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 left, right, and A message would appear saying 46, 12, 25. The message then comes up in Japanese for Fun is Infinity, Sega Enterprises, accompanied by a horrifying wallpaper of Sonic with some sort of terrifying clown mask.
Tails Doll Curse from Sonic R.
Tails Doll Curse is a curse contained in the game Sonic R. It can be unlocked several ways. The most common way to activate the curse is to complete the game 100%, including the characters and courses. In the GameCube version of the game, on the Sonic Gems collection, Miyamoto supposedly left a seal to block such a curse. However, to break this seal, you must tag Supersonic as Tails Doll.
Number Station from Fallout 3.
Number stations, in their simplest terms, are shortwave radio stations that broadcast strange, artificial voices reading off Morse code. After a series of odd encrypted messages were discovered being broadcasted from an in-game radio station called Galaxy News Radio, questions were raised. Was it true or not? Now, Bethesda denounces all rumors as false. Of course they would. After destroying certain in-game landmarks, you can gain access to a special number station with messages railed off by a bored 3-dog. These include, "Wash the car today, maybe Chinese for dinner," and something more terrifying like, "I can't believe they've actually done it, not long left, the noise, I can't take the noise anymore, I have pistol in the attic," or "The Queen has died today," The world mourns as on days like this we are all Brits. Of course, all of this was still and presumably not real, with no actual evidence to support the claims. And now, with Bethesda's denial of these instances, that's the final nail in the Fallout 3 number station's coffin. Now, elaborate hoax or not, it's still something to make you think.
Gladys from Portal.
At first, she looks like nothing more than a mess of machinery and cables. But if you look a little closer, she actually resembles a human figure, hanging upside down. It's not a coincidence. If you play through the game with developer commentary tracks on, the game's art director says, "Eventually, we settled on a huge mechanical device with a delicate robotic figure dangling out of it, which successfully conveys both GLaDOS's raw power and her femininity." However, when you think about it, GLaDOS looks more like a woman bound and gagged, and her message, to be free, holds this fact.
Pokemon Creepy Black.
There's been a lot of internet grumbling about a supposed Pokemon bootleg, known as Pokemon Creepy Black. In fact, the game itself has turned into a bit of an urban legend, as nobody seems to actually possess a copy of this aforementioned cart. Apparently Black is a hack of the original Game Boy's Pokemon Red, which features a Pokemon called Ghost. Ghost can only use one attack, called Curse. Using Curse instantly kills the opponent, so you naturally breeze through the entire game. Supposedly at the end of the game, you become an old man. Your horrible poke-killing deeds flash before your eyes, and then Ghost attacks you, which invariably ends badly for you. Many message boards have gone to a frenzy discussing this game, though nobody can seem to be able to prove its existence.
Kill Switch.
The case of the haunted video game Kill Switch is a widely circulated piece of creepypasta that relies on some very obvious fears to frighten readers. The possibility that a company could actually release a title that deletes all traces of existence upon completion is quietly disturbing. Supposedly released in the spring of 1989, Kill Switch existed as the brainchild of an obscure developer known as Carvina Corporation. It was to be the grandfather of all sorts of later survival horror adventures, like Silent Hill or Myst. It allowed players the option of completing the game as an invisible, fire-breathing demon Ghast, or randomly growing and expanding human avatar named Porto, across a monochrome world, all the while accompanied by Czech folk tunes. Playing as Porto, you had to gather evidence about the mine collapse and discover workers being mangled caught in gears of enormous machines. Once players completed Porto's segment of the game, Kill Switch was said to have completely erased itself from existence, keeping players from ever reaching the final conclusion with the second character cast, or another chance to relive the extraordinary experience. Of course, this was all intentional, that it could only be experienced once. Very few copies were distributed, and slowly the game faded into obscurity. And for one good reason. The game apparently never existed. It's only a creation from the mind of author Catherine Valent. But it's a tale so very chilling and believable it could have certainly lived on for quite some time.
Hell Skytress from Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Now, in a game like Mario, you're usually too focused on not falling off the crumbling catwalk into the lava below to ever really stop and look around. Anywhere you go on Shiverburn Galaxy, if you look up and to the left, they'll always be there. You never meet these people, these things. Nobody in the game ever even mentions them. Fans have already started seeing them in other levels, writing fan fiction stories about them and speculating on what they could actually be. Are they local villagers? Are they aliens? One gamer decided to check it out for themselves. Turns out the sky pattern for that area is called Beyond Hell Valley. As for the shapes themselves, they're called Hell Valley Sky Trees.
Lavender Town Syndrome.
The phenomena of the Lavender Town Syndrome is a legend that involves a bizarre spate of medical cases and deaths from around Japan that have been connected to the Pokemon series of games, in particular the first two games of the series, Red and Green. What Seki failed to disclose to Games Dimensions magazine was that the music used in the first wave release of Pocket Monsters Red and Green was formulated out of an experiment in binaural beats, using slightly different frequencies of sound each frequency played in one ear through earphones or headphones, various psychological effects can be induced upon the listener. In most versions of the first wave releases, this resulted in the player feeling uneasy, apprehensive, and mildly disturbed. These visual effects are known among programming circles as the white hand sprite, the ghost animation, and the buried alive model. Each has been found to cause headaches, dizziness, and nausea.
Ghosts from Halo series.
It was a legend on the early Halo 2 Xbox days on Halo Mods forums. Sadly, the forum is dead and most of the threads are lost. The presumed ghosts of Halo are unidentified NPCs or inactive players that tend to spawn out of nowhere during multiplayer games, exclusively sighted in Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo Reach. Such ghosts tend to behave bizarrely and possess odd features. Among other things, they lack gamer tags, do not show up on the scoreboard, and move erratically. They can be hostile if provoked, though some have been known to attack actual players for no reason. On some occasions they are also invulnerable and will not die. Ghosts are often viewed by many players as haunted game discs or levels. Some players may see ghosts, others may not. In theory, ghosts were originally planned as bots for multiplayer servers, but were then removed by Bungie. How the ghosts still randomly appear in games will, to this day, still remain a mystery.
Goldshire Children, and Kara's Hand Dungeon, from World of Warcraft.
Without a doubt, the strangest thing hidden amongst the many regions of World of Warcraft can be found in a house on the edge of Crystal Lake in Goldshire. Here, at 7 o'clock AM server time, players claim that you could watch 6 children run around in a pentagram formation before dashing into their house. It was said that the children cover 666 yards from the gates of Stormwind City into their house, and then while following upstairs, players could hear sinister music playing and screams and cries of some of the game's monsters. The children repeat the same behavior each day and every day, something that players have started turning up to watch, but no conclusive explanation was given as to why these children behave so strangely. Blizzard mentioned that this is a reference to the Diablo franchise, but haven't given any further information.
You will die.
World of Warcraft also features a hidden crypt area that appears to have never been fully developed and remains an abandoned, forgotten area of the game. An unused dungeon, just outside of Karazhan, can be accessed by glitches and leads to, among other things, an area known as the Upside Down Sinners. Here, dozens of bodies hang from gigantic chains in murky water, while a persistent heartbeat can be heard. It bears an eerie resemblance to one of the levels of hell mentioned in the Buddhist text Wen Jiao Jing. Since the 2.0 patch, many World of Warcraft players report being unable to enter this area, while others say they can still get in with specific characters or mounts.
Ghost of Hitman contracts.
You wouldn't expect a ghost to show up in a straight action stealth game like Hitman. On Traditions of the Trade mission, at one point you'll notice this door closed. If you pick the lock while nobody is looking, you can go into a hidden area of the hotel. Once you're in there, if you hurry up, you can catch a glimpse of something going through a wall. Take too long to get there, and you miss it. If you carry on, you'll run into a cop who tells you there's been a nasty accident in one of the rooms. There's a dead body on the floor and a knife on the wall. However, when you walk into the bathroom, you'll get to see a ghost in the mirror. You can also see this ghost appear in the bedroom too. The ghost has no relation to the plot whatsoever. It's not even an achievement or anything like that. What's its purpose in the game, and who exactly was it, remains a complete mystery.
Luna Story.
A few years back, a simple platformer called the Luna game was added to the popular My Little Pony fan site, Equestria Daily. Unlike most of the games on the site, which are all web-based, the Luna game needed to be downloaded to experience all the promised thrills. Those who did, however, were in for a nasty surprise, as after 30 seconds of the unnerving gameplay and creepy music, the game would freeze, crash, and kick you back to the desktop, whose background had now automatically been changed to this. By the end of the day, the game had been taken down and the rules changed to prevent anything similar from happening again. Too little, too late. For the bronies who had soiled themselves thinking, if only momentarily, that the twisted soul of Apple Bloom was haunting their computer. The game's maker has since gone on to make 5 more Luna games, each just as horrifying as the last, but none quite with the same shock value as the original.
Herobrine from Minecraft.
Definitely the spook of the moment, Herobrine must also probably be the most popular example of a game haunting ever. Minecraft's own resident ghost is now effectively a meme that endlessly recirculates and reappears across forums, message boards, and in YouTube videos. Herobrine began as a single, foggy screenshot of a distant figure posted in the Minecraft forums. This picture was accompanied by the story of a Minecraft player finding strange, unexplained constructions in their world, apparently a sign of someone or something else that was present. Now, the poster claimed that other players contacted him to say that they had also seen the figure, that any attempts to discuss on Minecraft forums simply resulted in them being deleted, and a strange message from an account under the name of Herobrine, and it simply said, "Stop." Now, after some research, the poster that claimed Herobrine was the username of a Swedish gamer was actually the brother of Minecraft's designer, Notch. Now, apparently Notch confirmed this with a brief message that he did indeed have a brother, but he stated that he is no longer with us. The story remained largely unnoticed until a Minecraft livestream known as Broadcast briefly broadcasted an image of a similar figure before the stream disconnected. This gave the legend of Herobrine much more exposure. Now, in reality, Notch does indeed have a half-brother whom he rarely sees, and while he said that Herobrine does not exist and has no plans to include such a ghostly character, he has enjoyed the endless speculation, has only fueled it further by adding the occasional cryptic removed Herobrine update with many game updates and improvements. As of now, you'll see many Herobrine mods all over the net, adding to this mysterious and absolutely creepy figure.
Mario.
The tale of Mario began late one night on SuperMarioWorldCentral.com, a place for new ROM hacks of Super Mario World. The first user to try it reported that upon downloading the compressed .rar file, simply named Mario, all caps, he found inside a text file with nothing but nonsensical characters and a single repeated phrase: "Find me." The game itself was not in a format that was immediately available to play. After some tinkering, the user, let's call him Adam, began to explore the frightening tale. Now, no one's entirely too sure what Mario is supposed to mean. There are references to evil acts perpetrated by the titular plumber, and a lot of evidence to suggest that Yoshi is somehow behind the events of the game and is possibly punishing Mario through them. Many have speculated that the end of the short title is representative of Mario's suicide and descent into a hell of his own making. All in all, it makes for a very strange and unnerving experience. But the nightmare doesn't end there. When someone else on the forum returned to look at the text file initially passed off as gibberish, they discovered that it was instead an image. When assembled, they found something truly frightening.